Hey there, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing good out there today. Today I got another patron shout out request for Daniel Martin. Daniel has what he says is a very special video for me to watch, and I'm kind of excited about it. It's going to be a song that I've heard before. I've heard many times before. He has me listening to Rush with their song "Working Man." Although the video he has me watching is a specific live version. And I wanted to read his message to me about this song. Now, real quick, a little background with me and Rush. I've never been a giant Rush fan. I've liked their music, but I've always been the type of a guy that's like, if their music is on the radio, cool, I'm all for it. I'll listen to it. They've got a couple songs I absolutely love. But in general, I was just never that guy. I had a roommate in college that was that guy. He was the the quintessential Rush fan, and that kind of drew me, pushed me a little bit away from Rush because of how obsessed he was with the band. But saying that, I did like their music, and I've always liked their music, but I was just never really big into them. I 100% recognize Neil Peart as one of, if not the greatest drummer of all time. If you know anything about drums, he's at least in your top five. And just think of it this way: if you're just go into your mind, think who do you think is the best drummer in the world? Whoever that person is, more than likely they consider Neil Peart the greatest drummer of all time. So Neil Peart is insane. Geddy Lee's an amazing bass player. His voice isn't one of my favorites, but again, it works with a lot of their songs, so it works for me. It just I'm not a giant fan of his voice, but his bass playing is fantastic. And then Alex is an amazing guitar player. As far as the band is almost a super group because of how good each of the three members are. But I just wanted to give that little bit of background from me, that I'm not a giant Rush fan, but I do dig their music. This is one of those songs that I really like, but I haven't heard this version. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard a live version of this. I've probably only ever heard the studio version on the radio. But this is the message that Daniel wrote me. A new Canadian band just released their first album, and out of nowhere they become a hit in Cleveland with their song "Working Man" on a radio station, leading to a contract with a US label. They are now the top international rock band from Canada. I almost said Canada. From Canada. This song has been a staple of their live show ever since. This performance, almost 40 years later, has changed as they have. There is so much going on there, from Geddy's amazing bass lines to Alex's crazy shredding. By the way, he has never been known as a shredder. That's true. He's an amazing guitar player, but he's not a shred, one of these that you think of shredding. The cherry on top is the fist dance from Neil Peart, or from Neil who normally is very shy and introverted, showing how his I can read, I really can. His perfectionist self was satisfied with his performance. That gets me excited that this is going to be different from the norm, the version of this song that I've heard. Like I said, I'm almost positive I have only ever heard the studio version. So I'm excited to see this live version. I believe this version is from 2011. And then, of course, most people know that we lost Neil in 2020. It was such a devastating loss to the entire, all of music. I don't care what kind of music you listen to. Neil Peart's death was horrible, and it's just such. The only great thing about it is that he left this absolutely amazing legacy behind him. But I'm excited for this, Daniel. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for having me listen to this. It's Rush isn't exactly a band that I go out and find and listen to. And I listen to them when they come on the radio. So I'm excited for this. I'm very excited to hear a new version of this that evidently is so big and so different than the original. So I'm excited for this. So here we go. Patron shout out request for Daniel Martin of Rush with a live version of Working Man.
Well, I get up at 7 years. I go to work at night.
Very like hold on. I know it's early to stop it, but this reggae version of the song is really cool. At first, I'm like, is this them just messing around before the song? But no, this is like a reggae version of the song. Very, very interesting change.
Go to work at night. I got no time for living. I'm looking all the time. It seems to me I can live my life better than I think I am. I guess that's why they call me the working man. They call me the working man. I guess that's why.
Gosh, it is so different. I'm digging it though.
When I get home at 5 o'clock, I kick myself out of nice coffee. Always seem to be wondering why there's nothing going down here. Seems to me I could live my life, living it up in my head. I guess that's why you call me.
One amazing thing I love about Rush is this view that they have a lot of with Neil. Look at this set. Look at this. His Neil Peart's drum kits have always been just amazing to look at because he's got so much going on. You have drummers who are like super simple, snare, 2 toms, bass drum, 3 cymbals and a hi-hat, and that's it. Then you have bands that drummers who have like this giant unruly kit that's really unnecessary for what they're doing. But when you look at Neil's kit, he uses every single thing you see here. There is nothing here that he doesn't use and use it to perfection. If you've ever just watch him drum, go find a drum cam of Neil Peart doing some of their songs, and it is insane what he does. It's just so incredible what he does. This song, the version of this song is cool. I'm not even really big into reggae necessarily, but the way they transformed this song into a reggae song for that first verse and chorus was killer. I'm a big fan of smashing genres together. So even if it's a genre that I'm not normally into, you bring rock and roll into another genre, and I dig it. And this is so far really cool. Okay, that whole section. Let's talk about those solos. The Alex, that was crazy. The fact that he was going, you know, very chaotic stuff going on, but he's dragging his fingers down past the fretboard, but still playing it and still just letting it go. Just the energy of that whole section with Geddy doing some amazing stuff on the bass. I was thinking about his bass. Is this original bass? I've always noticed at least I've only ever noticed that he always plays 4-string, old classic 4-string bass. And which is cool that he hasn't, a lot of even older rock bands, the bass players started playing 5-string basses a lot and stuff because there's just newer tech and everything. But I think Geddy just kind of sticks to that old school. This bass could be one of his original basses from the 70s, and it would just fit perfect. But what he was doing was cool, and Alex was killing it. Neil was just absolutely killing it. Very cool. Now I do have a question. It's a technical question about their stage show. What is this? This looks like an old school microphone. It's being held by by springs, but it's got an actual mic cord plugged into it. And I was going to ask about that, but then just now, right before this scene, Alex's mic stand has it too. But what is this for? I don't understand. Is this like to pick up the crowd noise? To be able to pipe the cheers and everything from the crowd back around through the speakers. I'm very curious because I noticed this from the very beginning and had meant to stop and ask about it, but then I forgot about it. But then just now I noticed it's on Alex's mic stand as well. I've never seen that before, and I'm just very curious. This is killer. This is really impressive. I'm loving the crowd, how much the crowd is loving this. That's one of the most classic rhythms you ever hear. You hear that, it's this song. Yes. Oh, you can just see the excitement that they know they absolutely killed that.
Thank you, Cleveland, Ohio. Best audience ever. We appreciate it so much. And we hope we see you again sometime down the road. Bye.
So good. Great closing show. Great closing song too. So that was patron chat request for Daniel Martin of Rush, Working Man, live in Cleveland. I believe it was 2011. That was badass. That was really impressive. I love the changes and it took a song that I've heard hundreds of times and made it new. That was really cool. The way they started it with that whole completely unexpected reggae beginning, that kind of island feel, and then they progressed into the more traditional way the song is played, but with that insane, very long solo section that all three of them were just going crazy on. And then that outro, that whole thing was badass. That was really cool. That got me a little bit more excited for Rush than I think I've ever been. That was really good. That was really impressive. Daniel, that's an amazing song, amazing video. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that. So thank you so much for your support, Daniel. Thank you for having me listen to stuff that I wouldn't normally listen to. And this was killer. I really enjoyed that. So thank you so much. If you guys like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.